The early morning sun gently touched the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, shining a soft light over the heart of Rome. The city, known for its history and its faith, slowly came alive. But this morning was different. It felt sacred. It felt important. A single man dressed in white stepped forward into the quiet square. In his hands he held something more powerful than a sword or a crown. He carried a message that many believed had the power to heal the world. This was the first encyclical of Pope Louis XI. The world had waited in silence for this very moment. After the long and sometimes divided years following the papacy of Pope Francis, there was tension in the air. Many hoped that the new Pope, Louis I, would bring clarity, compassion, and unity in a world full of noise and conflict. His first encyclical was more than just a letter. It was a symbol of direction, a vision for the future. This document, titled Lux Veritatis, which means the light of truth, was sent out to all corners of the earth. It was not only meant for Catholics or even only for Christians. It was for all people, every culture, every background, every faith. The message was clear. The world needs healing, and that healing starts with truth. In the Catholic Church, an encyclical is not a small thing. It is not a speech or a short opinion. It is a deep and serious teaching from the Pope. Through history, popes have used encyclicals to speak about big issues. These letters have talked about justice, poverty, peace, war, and the care of the earth. Encyclicals are ways for the Church to speak with the world. They are not just for the priests or the bishops. They are for every person searching for truth. Pope Louis XIII followed this tradition, but he also brought something new, something urgent. Lux Veritatis was not filled with difficult words or complex ideas. It was simple but powerful. At its heart, the encyclical called for unity. Pope Louis XIII spoke clearly. It is time for healing. It is time for truth. These words were repeated around the world. People who had not gone to church in years read the letter. Leaders of other faiths, presidents, teachers, and workers listened. They felt that someone finally had said what needed to be said. The world is divided. People are angry, scared, and confused. And yet, the Pope said, "We are not enemies. We are one human family." The message of unity in Lux Veritatis was not soft or vague. It asked people to look deeper. Pope Louis XIV reminded the world that every life matters. Every person has dignity. He said that when one person suffers, we all suffer. When one person is left behind, the world loses something special. This was not just a call for kindness. It was a call for action. The Pope asked people to speak to each other again, to listen and to try to understand. He said the world will not move forward if we keep looking at each other with hate or fear. The Pope did not hide from the pain of the past. He was honest. He spoke about the deep wounds in history: wars, injustice, racism, colonization, oppression, and betrayal. These wounds are still open in many parts of the world. The Pope said we must not ignore them. We must face them with truth and with courage. Only then can we begin to heal. He wrote, "We cannot move forward while clinging to the bitterness and resentment of the past." His words were strong but full of mercy. He said forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is remembering and choosing peace. In his encyclical, Pope Louis XIII also reminded the world of something that many have forgotten: the importance of caring for the poor. He said that the poor are not outsiders, they are the heart of the Church. He spoke of children who have no food, mothers who walk for hours to find clean water, fathers who cannot find work, and families who sleep in the cold. Their suffering, he said, is our suffering. The Pope called for a change, not just in charity but in systems. He said it. Fear's not enough to give a little money. We must build a world where every person has the chance to live with dignity. He also spoke directly to leaders of nations, businesses, and institutions. He said they have a duty to care for the poor, to build fair systems, and to stop looking at profit before people. He warned against economic systems that make the rich richer and the poor poorer. He said that the time has come for real change. Solidarity is not a dream, it is a responsibility. Another major part of Lux Veritatis was about the earth. Pope Louis III continued the work of Pope Francis, who spoke strongly about the environment in his encyclical Laudato Si. But Pope Louis went even further. He said that caring for the earth is not only about science, it is about faith. He wrote, "We are stewards of this earth, not its masters. This means that the planet does not belong to us. It is a gift, and we must protect it." The Pope was clear about the danger of climate change. He said it is real, it is serious, and we must act now. He called for clean energy, for strong laws to protect nature and for people to live more simply. He also asked companies to stop putting profit before creation, and he asked all people to remember that every tree, every river, every animal is a sign of God's beauty. When we hurt the earth, we hurt ourselves and our children. Lux Veritatis reached far and wide. Leaders from every part of the world praised the letter. The United Nations called it a global call for peace and unity. Leaders of other religions joined their voices in support. Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, and other spiritual leaders said that the message of Lux Veritatis was not only Catholic, it was human. It touched the hearts of people in big cities and small villages. It brought together people who had never spoken before. In many places, people started to come together. Prayer services were held between different religions. Peace walks were organized. Schools began to teach the ideas in the Encyclical. Some governments began to review their policies on poverty and the environment. People started planting trees, feeding the hungry, and speaking more kindly to their neighbors. The Encyclical was not just read, it was lived. Even though the Encyclical came from the Vatican, its message felt personal. It spoke to the lonely, the tired, the young, and the old. It reminded everyone that hope is still alive. It said that love is not weak. It is the strongest power in the world. And it asked everyone, no matter their background, to become part of this new chapter. To choose truth, to choose healing, to choose unity. Pope Louis XI showed through his encyclical that the Church is not closed behind stone walls. It is alive. It is listening. It is walking with the people. He said that the Church must not be afraid to speak about hard issues. The Church must be a light in the dark. It must be a place where people feel safe, heard, and respected. His message was not only for Catholics, it was for all people who dream of a better world. He also said that the journey ahead will not be easy. There are still divisions. There is still hate. But he reminded us that we are not alone. We have each other. And we have the power to build something new. The Pope did not promise a perfect world, but he offered a path. He offered hope. As the sun began to set on the day of the Encyclical's release, the light over St. Peter's Square turned golden. People stood quietly thinking about the words they had just heard. Some cried, some prayed, others simply smiled. For the first time in a long time, they felt that something good was beginning. A whisper of hope passed through the crowd, and around the world, from Africa to Asia, from Europe to the Americas, people shared the same feeling.